Alright. Let's go. Alright, so we have... We do in fact have a rat. Oh damn, I gotta get used to this, I gotta get used to this interface. It's gonna take me a little bit. So we got Efreak and Adthor from the home team. Man, I've not heard this music in a long time. This is a gorgeous UI. Alright, let's follow Efreak for a little bit. So Efreak is up against this is Lumu, so our dear god. We have Adthor currently fighting, I think that is just double check my notes. This was always going to be a little bit of a struggle. In a hell of a grind. Dang, that is a lot of cat girls. Alright. So this is Xian, Xian from May the Dial be with you. We also have Yanzhou Feng Chushi as the Jiang Qimeng from Team Autumn Wind Slows the Senior. Fantastic name. Ah, yeah. Good point, senpai. Efreak off to a good start. Running into the early Jiang Qimeng's always a little bit rough. Rat Girl losing to Cat Girl. So we know that Adthor preferences the painter style Long Yao, which is what we're seeing here. So a lot of emphasis on getting Bracelet upgraded, relying on your early game Sword Intent board to carry you through. Adthor, a big proponent of this strategy, something we've seen them employ very, very frequently across the season. Live Shop definitely has given this strategy a little bit of extra legs. The virtue of having access to so many shop options that give you the ability to upgrade your give you the option to upgrade your bracelet means you have a much stronger endgame than that board used to be capable of, but that is a little bit up to the hands of luck. The early game Heptastar board's always a little bit frightening, especially a Yan Chen. And taking a solid 10 Destiny of Adthor. Every playing the classic setup of using a water card, a Billows powered by a metal. Unfortunately, also losing to Yan Chen. So that's 2 fights lost to Yan Chen's this round for a total of 20 Destiny spent across the team, which not a great sign for the home team. Well, the away team, I guess we are here. So we have a musician, Cat Girl. Show the scoreboard. So musician Lin Xiaoyue, musician Yan Chen, painter Jiang Qimeng, something we've seen a lot. Yan Chen Elixirist, Lin Xiaoyue Elixirist, painter Mu Hu, Yaoling Elixirist, and Long Yao painter. This is quite a beautiful UI. I'm impressed. I've never seen it before. That's all good. We'll get it on the fly. Adthor here fighting for relatively low stakes with a kindness tune. Haven't seen too many sorry, FF Freak, not Adthor. Haven't seen too many teammates matching up just yet. The distribution of Battles has been relatively even in that sense. One Destiny loss, not that bad for her. Adthor picking up a win too. Here is definitely a pair of teammates fighting. And an additional pair of teammates fighting. So get used to the all normal boards here. We will definitely be seeing a non-zero amount of that. Indeed, Chaya. Does indeed answer your question. Yeah, I think you probably would have been better off trying to rig it so Yanchen doesn't win the fights in the teammate mirrors. The extra Destiny loss is a collective loss for your whole team, in that sense. Adthor and FF Freak fighting here, so we're going all normals. Any Freak fans? Any Freak fans in chat? Freak fans in chat? Okay, so we do have Flame Flutter coming up from the Yowling. A choice that we don't see her all the time here. It's definitely something that has been, I think, a little bit less common as people have tried to adapt to find new ways to improve her mid-game. So we're seeing here that Tuntio is a fan of it. Naturally, this is the fight that's going on. The little sword slash here being used in order to ensure that the fight is a little bit closer thanks to FF Freak's extra bulk. Alright, relatively strong turn for Muhu picking up the ring. Adthor still carrying through with their sword intent board here. Gooey, a little messy. Are we going to see a breakthrough here? Looks like yes. Chief Fusion back on the board. Fairly solid sword intent board here. More or less what you want in this spot. Adthor leading lobby, taking Dragon Scales with the Recuperate on tier 2 to supplement it. So, definitely in a good spot to try to lock up a top 4. But, everyone wants to do a little bit better than that. Top 4 is not necessarily where you want to aim for. Obviously great if you can get a top 4, but we're shooting for the stars here. This is the monstrous Catgirl Cloudsword board that we saw very commonly in the earlier part of the season. Multiple cards on this board having been nerfed recently in Cat Paw and Flying Sand to take some of the teeth away from the cat. FF Freak running into the Flame Flutter here. Not ideal for a predominantly Earth board, though this board is maybe more metal than earth. We do have a Sun and Moon for Glory backed by Chi Therapy from Xian. A very a very fun card. One that's a little bit hard to make work. I'm enjoying the 2-card shuffle here. So our Rat crew is currently taking up 1st and 8th position. So sort of a even spread in that sense. Middle of the lobby is a lot of Heptastar. Very heavy Heptastar lobby in general, actually. Multiple Yanchens is the sort of thing that not super common in the ladder experience, but definitely a little bit more appealing here when you're in a lobby with people who don't necessarily have Xiaobu's tier 5. Hey, treaties, indeed. The hand shuffle that you do like when you're waiting for your turn in Magic, indeed, very familiar. Something good from where he takes the L here. Rough for Yanchen. Adthor still cleaning up. Efreak losing out in the battle of the felines. Alright. Efreak here just trying to build the board back up in order to withstand this onslaught from Xian. Would like to see Efreak get off the billows soon. There is a locked Ironbone for him, so that is certainly a little bit of direction for the mid game. This board is a mixture of a very heavy mixture of Earth and Metal cards. The upgraded Earth Spirit formation certainly gives you a lean to that. It's quite a valuable card in that sense. The Needle and Sharp obviously push you more towards Metal. The access to Vigorous on tier 4 is another advantage to playing a metal-heavy board. But it is the kind of thing that might just be a tempo solution here in order to try to stabilize Efreak's destiny a little bit. Xian's on Elixir Yanchen, so that does mean more likely to be Fury Thunder than any sort of internal injury setup. The matchup does not look too good for Efreak here. That's a pretty severe loss. 40 Destiny is not exactly where you want to be sitting here. These are some strong Hepstar boards. Multiple Thunder and Lightnings flying around. Definitely appealing for most people. Man, Efreak is just battling Yanchen after Yanchen. This board here is in fact a Heartbroken Tune with In Reach setup, which currently doesn't really get supported too much from this, but is definitely a weak point for kind of either board. Alright, we're shattering down here. We are not vigorous takers in this world. Still opting to run the Billows by the looks of things. Multiple Earth cards coming down. Upgraded Cliff's a really good one. Timing it's going to be a little bit tricky. We don't know if Yanchen is going to be swapping into the internal injury board this time. He's going to get a good chance to have a look at their board. This Yanchen is... Billow's still doing work. The damage solution. Man, that would have been a really great cliff. Still gets a good target. 30 damage point swing. Very, very good. Build your own Spring Rain. It's good enough. Spring Rain at home is good enough. Okay. A much needed reprieve for Efreak. Did not want to take another loss to a Yanchen here. It would have been far too severe. In a battle of the Heptastars. The middle of the lobby is very, very flat. Adthor obviously staying up top, continuing to snowball their wins with the high power of their Sword Intent board. Efreak now fighting Tuncio, who still has that Flame Flutter on, though it's less and less impressive as the game goes on and the Earth cards start to catch up in power. So, not sure if that's going to be enough by itself. The Chi Denial from Rotary not really doing anything against Muhu here, clearly. So, it's going to be... I would say looking at this board, I would back Efreak. We saw his board last and put up a pretty severe beating on that Yanchen, and this board to me looks a little bit weaker. Yeah, Great Recovery Elixirs, definitely standing out. Complements the Flame Flutter setup a little bit. But the reliance on attacks against the Earth board is not really where you want to be. That said, the Thunder and Lightning is going to get in under the defense. Though the Billows is a faster clock than the Flame Flutter by a good margin. Flame Flutter is reliable damage. It is going to just keep doing its job, regardless of how much defense Efreak puts up. But his clock is by no means small. So even with the extra help from these elixirs to stabilize her a bit, it looks like it's not going to go her way here. Actually, ends up real close. Real close. A single upgrade almost anywhere would have done it. Okay, Adthor takes the loss. Efreak now fighting Yanchen again. Xian is the elixir Yanchen, so this is not going to be any threat of internal injury here. Harry's board taking shape. I'm a little surprised that the Billows is still there. What's in the shop? Actually can. So Efreak does have access to Flying Brush and Quicksand. So pretty clear upgrade path for him there, but surviving to take advantage of them is going to be the hard part. Fighting Yanchen every other round? Indeed. Adthor did take Dragon Scales, so Adthor is going to be in this game for quite some time. Five Thunders is worse for Tiger than Poison? Yes, but right now, in this current round, I think Efreak would rather be fighting a board that doesn't play to internal injuries. I could be wrong about that, but this board is much better set up to handle attack-based boards than internal injury ones. That said, Xian has broken through, so if they do have the 5 Thunders, it is going to be very difficult for this board of tier 3 and 4 cards to keep up. Oh, that's a pretty nasty side. Hitting the Earth Spirit formation does a fair bit to reduce the defensive output from Efreak's board. Efreak kind of on the brink here. Adthor also having a pretty rough time of it. The Sword Intent Flow doing a Surge impersonation, not great against the semi-Exodia board. Have taken Astral Divination. This is Lumu, Dear God. Astral Divination, so that does mean there is a higher propensity for them to be taking advantage of the hexagram setup, and they've already got a pretty big part of it. Yeah, fly to fly in order to get the extra hexagram. Very sweet. Alright, we're seeing a few boards with a lot of gold cards. This is going to be Adthor's breakthrough turn, so pretty pivotal moment. Efreak's board is online, staring down Tilgway, who is Cat Sword Dharma. Only one real chase at the moment, so I think that is probably preferable. The finishing touch, the brush, the landslide. Is this the quicksand from the shop? No. This matchup looks pretty good for Efreak. I would say he is favored in this matchup. A little awkward to be cutting your defense with landslide, but Efreak knows what he's doing. The Tiger upgrade, the Tiger buff to the recent patch, upgrading Kunwu Metal Ring. Nice little bonus for making it to tier 5. Go rat. We love the rats. Okay, a mean Dharma, but not a lethal Dharma. And that looks like that's going to be enough. Alright, Efreak lives to fight another day. Tilgway a little bit on death's row. I thought with a little Cloud Sword package here to power their bracelet setup. Pretty nice. Very nice. Taking a convincing win against Yanchen, putting him on death's door. This is a teammate matchup. I don't know why no one's moving here, but we'll move on. Alright. Efreak now fighting a somewhat terrifying Exodia Five Thunders hybrid. Currently, the Deer God is striding the line between both of them. Looks like here he's leaning more into the Five Thunder side. Dotted around's not really where you want to be, but the upgraded Heaven Hex is quite valuable. I like this decision about defensive options. Do you try to survive against Efreak's board and outlast it? This should be a pretty close fight. Efreak has hit some spicy upgrades. We're playing Flying Brush into Heavenly Marrow Rhythm now. So on this board, Tiger's tier 1 is upgrading the Landslide. Forgoing Ring and Finishing Touch. It's a cool board. I'm excited to see how it plays. Well, quite close on speed too, since the Deer God is holding a bunch of cards. I quite like the setup. So you play the Earth Spirit formation off the brush, so you get to keep your charge for the Cliff Landslide turn. That said, losing all those charges of Combine Earth is not ideal. It's good enough though. Okay. Every taking names, really rallying here. That was a sick board. Here we have Adthor really nicely lining up against a Dharma board here. Bracelet doing a ton of work, and the random defensive bonus is doing a great job of keeping them alive against the scaling Cloud Sword start. I think that's an elimination. No Cat Soul Bless. Alright, Tyugui is out. 2 defeated, so the within reach Xian is down. Tyugui is down. Efreak is fighting Anti-Chase Cloud Sword Catgirl. Haven't seen too much of this board so far this game. Sort of building into a Dharma setup. Be curious to see how Efreak adapts to it. Just finishing touch big defense. I would say I'm a fan of it. Still skipping ring, so 4-card upgrade. The Landslide doesn't quite get the upgrade here. So it'll just be level 2, not level 3. The level 3 upgrade is definitely a lot more scaling, but it might just be that Efreak figures, as long as we get enough defense, we should be fine. Retuntio settle on? Hop over after this fight. So sure enough, Predicament is here. Shade's still doing a pretty good job of knocking off a bunch of stacks of Combine World. This board is not cohesive. Going for a second cycle kill. Okay, I mean, that's inventive. I think it still runs into the Combine World, though. Yeah. Alright. Efreak with another win. Ice God Elixir looks like it's giving Adthor quite a lot of trouble here. Combined with Side. This board's sort of rough against Side. Your chase sequence is so precise. Hamster is playing hexagrams and has just eliminated the other white hair. Alright. We have two of our home team in the top 4. We'd love to see it. Efreak staring down a pretty monstrous Yanshan board. This is not Five Thunders, this is just Wave Adaptation. And that's what this board looks like. So fair enough. That's a lot of upgrades. I don't know I don't know if you can build enough defense to tank that. I don't have the command. You have to go somewhere else. You have to go to Senpai's channel and type the command. Yeah, Yanchan's snowball potential, definitely not to be underrated. Looks like we're considering a late Formicide in order to facilitate the early side. This is a very side-heavy board. The turn 2 side is pretty rough for Muhu. It's very hard to play around that. Side fans are out in force. So that does shut down the rhythm. Which unfortunately makes this board look a lot worse. And 4 stacks of guard up goes pretty far too. I mean, we can imagine how good that landslide would have been if it wasn't for the defense. Oh man, that poor Mara rhythm never gets played. Yeah, if it wasn't for the guard up, I think that would have been alright, but 4 stacks just a little bit too much. Athor also taking the defeat here. Athor has 2 more rounds to give before they face elimination. So, these two are on a team. And Xian are not, no. So these are 3 different teams represented here, which means we do have 2 players who will want to try and kill each other. No, they are on a team. My bad. I was looking at the wrong name. So okay, this is going to be a silly round. It's going to be a very silly round because these two are playing normals to tie each other, whereas Adthor is fighting Tunsio's ghost, which means they're going to be fighting 0 resistance, which is good. It's good for Adthor because they will still take Destiny off each other. Yeah, everyone gets a little freebie here. So Ethel's pretty likely to land top 2 from here. The Yanchen, definitely the scarier board. Just a lot of power and a lot of tech to back it up. Not to mention Yanchen also just being so fast that they can kind of dictate the speed of play against Adthor. Not having a Spirit Gather definitely makes life harder. That much is true. Let's see the normal fight. Love to see the premium normals represented. Adthor digging for his life to find a better way to make chi. Okay, we have the Spirit Gather Citadel armor. Playing Moonwater last round. Getting close to a max egret, which is another good scaling option. It's generally a little bit worse than what Ravensword is going to do. The problem is just dealing with all of this, right? Like, you have to beat sides, you have to beat guard up elixirs, and the whole time you're taking a ton of damage. Very hard to assemble a board that can keep up with that. She's fighting Adthor's ghost, so Would be good if Ador could beat her. That could be Chunjiao. Max Ice Guard is a very big problem. And I'm not sure... Ador's going to have to really dig deep to try to find a solution to it. I'm not sure if there's going to be one easily accessible. Like, the whole time as well, you know, your finishing touch is getting sided. It's very rough. Spirit Gather is here. We have found the Spirit Gather. Unfortunately, this round, our cards are not upgraded because we did not hit the finishing touch thanks to side. Yeah, that's always the problem this turn. Where you just don't... Just playing Flying Brush is just not really enough in a turn. Oh, that is a max 5 Thunders. It's going to be pretty tough for Ador to score a win here. So these two are fighting each other, so Ador gets another buy. And I mean, these buys do add up. There's a lot of upgrades to that Rule Sky formation that we just found. I'm just not sure what the board looks like that wins. Well, that's a maxed Rule Sky formation, so maybe that is part of it. We might be able to put that to the test. Does a max defense board beat a max Heptastar board? Because we certainly have that. Not to mention a Chainsword formation to support it too. So not a bad setup. So Ador knows that they are fighting each other. So that is something that we can but he knows he doesn't need to present a particularly strong board here because these people will be normal attacking each other. It's a very highly upgraded board. I think I like the removal of the Flying Brush here. Just do more every turn. Plays better around the impending sides. Alright, well, convincing win against the normals. Who takes this one? So Hamster wins because she's faster. No, Rule Sky... So question, does Rule Sky skip make Chainsword useless? No. Rule Sky still just looks at your deck as it's laid out on the board. So it will always play the card before it. Alright, Ador gotta step up again here. Fighting Yanchen, I think the worst of the matchups, but both of them are pretty terrifying. Like, this hamster has max Thunder and Lightning, max 7 Hex, max 5 Thunders. A lot of Thunder and Lightnings flying around, actually. And Heaven Hexes. It's a maxed Egret, which is another avenue of attack. Looks like we're leaning towards just playing the board like this. Let's see, 5 upgrades, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's close to actually coming back around to Bracelet. Yeah, the max Egret also means you're just making a little bit less defense, which definitely matters here. Side's still happening. We're just living inside town, I think. God, I'm doing a lot of work there. I wouldn't call it the most inspiring Raven Spirit sword. But it'll get there. This guy is doing a lot of work, but I don't think it's doing enough. Again, trying to beat a max Ice Guard Elixir is pretty rough. No, this is for all the marbles. Adthor has to win this to stay in it. Both of these players fighting for their life. We can hope Dead Hamster. I'm pretty sure Hamster fought Xian's ghost. Hamster showing us we're all wrong. Yeah, we were all... Hamster's a top 3 character, what can you say? Quite an interesting top 3 in general, actually. Long Yao, Hamster, Yan Chen, all slightly off meta picks. Yan Chen, Adthor devastatingly close to maxing these cards. One copy, one copy, one copy, one copy. Really rough. Really rough to not get there. Making hard choices about what to roll away. Deciding the brush is the pick. My Chi Denial hurts a little bit. Not as much as that 5 Thunders, though. The 5 Thunders definitely hurts more than the Chi Denial. It's so tantalizingly close, isn't it? This is a good turn. This is a good turn for Adthor. They get to accumulate a little bit of defense here. Tank the 5 Thunders. This might get there. I think this gets there. Alright, it gets there. Adthor makes it to top 2. Xian still looking pretty hard to take down though. Adthor's gonna have to pull out something pretty special. It's gonna have to be something pretty special. We have given up on the Dharma Dream, so it might have just been taking down Tuntio was the goal, and we're gonna settle in for a second. Yeah, I think this board doesn't attack enough, but it's pretty hard to compete. Like, this is 8 Dragonflies. 8 copies of Dragonfly, max Flame Hex, max Heaven Hex, max Side, max Heaven, Hex Former Side, max Ice Guard. Unlucky to not max the 5 Thunders, though. I don't see it. Even just the side is... Okay, we're respecting the side. We have decided to respect the side, so that helps. I still think it's probably too much. I mean, we tanked the 5 Thunders this time. I like the setup. I do like the setup a lot. Man, it is, like, skin of our teeth. Damn. It was well fought, though. Well fought. Alright. Very cool. I don't even think I can grab the battle code. Yan Chen takes down the victory. 21 rounds. What a slog.